Hi friends, welcome you all in my today video regarding Wazoo. If you are a viewer of my channel, you can see there are videos available in my channel in Hindi language. To connect with the audience uh, who understand only English, there are many Indians who can only understand English. So for those, uh, I am making this video. This is my old playlist, which is in Hindi uh, in Hindi language of complete Wazoo information. Today, I am trying to demonstrate the Wazoo in English language. So hope you like. If you have any suggestion, you are seeing on screen my channel different playlist. They are all in Hindi language. I hope you like my this initiative and give me the appropriate feedback to improve myself. And I'm very thankful to you. You can see we are going to study about Wazoo. We have a central component. We have an end component. We will study about that. So Wazoo, in this today we have agenda why we should study about Wazoo. What is Wazoo in reality, and is there any alternative? And if there are, then we will comparison with that, and we will see a demo of installation of Wazoo. First, we will see why we use Wazoo. So, why we use Wazoo? Wazoo is a security platform. In the today world, there are many companies which are using the digital network, because when we do business on digitally, on Flipkart, Amazon, there are number of companies who have their own website and doing business through their digital network, because it's give a opportunity to scale the business at very high speed. But with this opportunity, we have some risk of getting our credentials, customer data, and other stuff getting hacked, or we can have huge loss. So security is the major concern in any point of view of this digital world. One of way to implement the network security or monitoring through is the Wazoo. How Wazoo is doing, we will see again. But I suppose that why we are using Wazoo, it's clear to you. We choose the tool to implement security monitoring on our logs and different stuff, and according to that security we can take action. That is very unique feature I like the Wazoo. So what is the Wazoo? Wazoo is a free open source security platform that unifies XDR SIEM capacity. It gives you both. XDR is extended detection and response, and SIEM system information and event management. So it is saying that you should monitor all the endpoint of your application network. No endpoint is left behind. You monitor it on real time, plus you should store the logs and compare the logs by time, and get the analysis what is getting changed. And it is the thing which is getting changed, it is in a good way or bad way. And if it is in bad way, you can define the predefined scripts. You can use the predefined scripts and made your own scripts, or in Python, in Bash, to do some action. Wazoo is free of cost. You can install in your own server. Wazoo is providing the cloud also, where you can find the Wazoo hosted cloud services, and it is open source. You can made some changes if you are good enough in coding, and you can manipulate it according to your use case, and I think you can excel it to achieve the great level of security. Already you can see there are multiple open source contributor who is making the Wazoo a great security software. So hope you like the Wazoo feature. So if you move further, and we will see the Wazoo feature. Wazoo uh, is very rich in feature. It's providing the feature of intrusion detection based upon the agent architecture. We have the agent which is hosted on the different machines, which is giving the information, sending the information to server, and they are detecting the rootkit malware detection by checking the logs and other set of rules. Then we have the log data analysis. We have like we have in the var log of we have nginx access log, error log, we have auth log, sys log, kernel log. All this log file we have to analyze. We can't do it manually. uh, Agent sending data, taking data from Wazoo server and sending it to uh, we can say sending it to server, and server is analyzing it. And if any logs is compare it with the logs rule, if any logs found to breaking the rule, or is fire, a rule will get fire, and you will get alert on your dedicated email ID or channel. Then file integrity is there, vulnerability is there, configuration management is there, incident response, and regulatory compliance, cloud security is there. FIM is that file integrity monitoring, that there is a checksum associated with the each file. Checksum is associated whenever you change the single character or add, delete this single character, checksum will get changed, and you will get the alert that someone has changed your file at this time. And vulnerability detection is the I like the feature of the vulnerability detection the most in the Wazoo, that it is giving the hint of where I am weak, where I can get attacked. If some part of my body is weak, I should go to doctor and do some treatment to make this part healthy. So vulnerability detection is that kind of feature which is giving the scan of your body, that is your server system, that this part of body is your weak, please go and take this or other stuff or other precautions to uh, get at, to not get in the hunt of hackers. Then configuration assessment is that we can check our can put our eye on the configuration assessment. Incident response is there, like some hacker is attacked on your network, and when your hacker is attacked on your network, you want that internet connection is getting closed immediately. Why? Because there are some files which you don't want anyone to take out. There may be customer data, the customer mobile number, anything, it is stored there. Maybe it's a bank account server which have the multiple account holders information. Whenever a hacker do attack, immediately internet will go off and no file will be get transferred outside the world. If you going to do it manually, it will take some time, either in 1 minute. A very large amount of data in 1 minute can go from your server to outside world. Then in the regulatory compliance, we see there are some industries organization, like in the for PSI, this is for payment card industry, which is founded by MasterCard. It is not government. There are some government standards are also there. Then non-government standards are also there. In the industry your organization belong, you have to follow some set of standardization to do work, and to check that your servers machines are in compliance with these regulatory. You should make you can use Wazoo. There are also other tools are available. You can use to check the compliance. You can use Wazoo. Last is the cloud security. Cloud security, we have the different cloud service provider: Amazon, AWS, Google cloud provider. We Wazoo is capable or comfortable is comfortable to work with all these cloud providers. Like we can monitor the AWS instances, Azure, and other services like AWS S3, CloudTrail. There are other stuffs is also there. We can go and we can make that our cloud is we can maintain our security on cloud. We can also on our on premises setup is there. You have set up a server on your data center. You are having your own data center, and you are want to make the changes to, or you want to monitor the, and want to take the appropriate action, then you can use Wazoo is the best choice for that. Plus, uh, like if you want to, who is deleting the instance, or is your instance state is getting changed, its type is getting changed, mm, many useful information is found in AWS CloudTrail for all the servers. What is going with them, going start, going stop, state change, someone deleted that. Very useful. You can combine the your Wazoo with that, and you are good to go. Then we have a Wazoo component. We have central component and endpoint component. Central component is that where you host the Wazoo server. Server have the three parts: indexer, server, and dashboard. In indexer is the database, and database is indexer is form of open search. In behind the scene, open search is working, and we are capturing our logs in the open search by name of indexer, Wazoo indexer. Then we have Wazoo server, which is talking with agents and collecting logs, and processing them and sending to indexer. Then we have dashboard. Whatever is going on, we want to see that. To see that, we use the Wazoo dashboard. If you go again in the Wazoo dashboard, we are using behind the scene is Kibana dashboard, and the endpoint is the agent. Agent is Wazoo agent. Uh, it may be laptop, your desktop, it is server, or anything, any machine which you want to monitor, which you want to make secure. You can use that. You need to install the agent on that. We will go for agent specification and server specification furthermore, but this is the main component diagram. At central level we have this component, and endpoint level we only have the agent which send the data to central component. One thing, Wazoo is the upgraded form of OSAC. OSAC is the another security tool. Wazoo is the upgraded form of Wazoo. Wazoo is the upgraded form of OSAC, and it gives you more feature than OSAC. In agent is send Wazoo work on push mechanism. Agent is sending logs over network to Wazoo server. Server is not going anywhere. Like Prometheus go to agents or node exporter. It's work on pull mechanism, but Wazoo is working on push mechanism. Any agent, there are maybe multiple agent. We have 1,000 of agent. We can have 1,000 of agent will send their data to server. For that we do some configuration. We will have that in installation part. So being the time you are, I hope you are on the pitch with me, and we are very clear with the component part, what our component is doing, where we are saving our logs, what is our server is doing at high level. Then we move to the indexer part. We will take each part one by one. First is the indexer. Indexer, if we say indexer, save the data in shards. If you see, node 1 primary shard is P0. It is hosted in other node 2, node 3 as a replica shard R0. Whenever node 1 is getting deleted or some problem will happen, data will not be lost. R0, R1, we can retrieve it, and again our shard is ready. Shard, by using the shard in this sharding concept, we can achieve the highly availability of our indices. Data loss is chances are very low, because at any point all three zones are not going to dead. in one region of AWS, for example, we have three region, and in all the three zones we have different nodes. All three zones are not getting down at single time. Okay, so we have data surety that we will not going down. uh, Shards, with shards concept, like we have here three shards. When the life cycle is there, hot, cold, uh, whenever we are moving to older life cycle to cold, that then shards, number of shards is getting decreased, and our the main is our search, how fast is our search. So whichever indices are in ho- are in hot life cycle, the uh, search is very fast on that. Open search is a, you can say that is a search uh, search engine. Then we have the Wazoo server architecture. In the left top corner, you are seeing that the threat intelligence is there. Before threat intelligence, you can see that uh, agent enrollment, agent connection is the duty of the Wazoo server. This task will be done by the Wazoo server. He had to enroll the agent and establish the connection, and uh, got the log and accept the log, and match the rule on that log, decode that, and if rule is firing according to that, it will give a result to the Filebeat, and Filebeat will send data to the database, which is the indexer. And now we will go to topmost part of left side, IP reputation from threat intelligence. IP reputation is that there are some IP which have the bad reputation, we can directly block them. Then we, some IP is trying to sending the bad request to our instance, like it is doing trying to gain the SSH access from wrong user. Then we can block this IP on temporary basis, or we can do it on permanent basis. Then we have file hashes. File hashes is same checksum value. There is a value which is associated with the file. If something is getting changed in the file checksum will change, and you will get a report according to the time. At this time, the file content is got changed and checksum is changed. Okay. Then we have MITRE tag and vulnerability detection. There are some real world incident in which hacking is happened, and to learn from this hacking, we have MITRE tag and vulnerability detection. Like in the vulnerability detection, we have CVF database, and private organization contribute in it, and upload information, how, what was their weakness, which tool was used to do hacking, and other stuff they are uploaded in that. Your system, when we Wazoo do scan your system vulnerability, your system is compared with the CVF database, and it will show your system is weak from this point. Like your hand, when you do full MRI scan, it will tell you in your backbone this particular L5 or L6 version, L6 not version, L6 is weak and heavy problem. You can please look for this and go to doctor and do proper treatment. Like that, vulnerabilities do work. Then we have regulatory compliance, PSI, DSS, payment card industry, HIPAA for health, NIST, GPG both for IT industry, NIST for US, and GPG for UK. We can check our system is compatible or not through this regulatory compliance. Then state of the endpoint, we can check the file state database, system inventory database, third party API. We can manage ticketing system like Jira. We can manage, and it is like it's the architecture diagram of one Wazoo server. When we deploy the Wazoo server in a client architecture mode, when we have large number of agents. Then we require the Wazoo daemon RESTful API. Through RESTful API we will talk. 55,000 is the port of the Wazoo server RESTful API. Through using a database and Wazoo dashboard, communicate it with. And you can say you have seen here that raw data events, each and every log which is coming to a server, it is stored in the indices of the indexer. But if some logs is breaking the rules, it is also stored in raw data, plus it is also created stored in other indices, where we kept only those indices or those logs which break some log rules. Then we have API services. Wazoo architecture is very simple. Rules for decoding and rule matching. There are lots of rules are you will get when you install the Wazoo. You can write your own rules, and you can do changes in your rule directory. Plus, if I say you have the Wazoo server installed and you want to connect with the like we will talk with later. Now go to Wazoo dashboard. What are we are making? We will doing whatever we logs we are acted implemented rules. We visualize. Visualization is a better way to understand the things. Visualization for visualization, Kibana is there. Kibana visualization and Grafana visualization both are best. I feel that personally feel that. So whatever is going on our system, we can easily understand from dashboard, because other person like for manager team, testing team may not get comfortable with the coding part, that alerts, different things are, but they are easily understand the what is the going on the ground of your server, on your machine, wherever you hosted, or they can easily get the idea. In the end, we have covered all the three central component. In the last we will seeing the agent component. We have log collector, which collecting the log, command execution, like whenever some user executing the command, we can monitor it by audit beat. File integrity module is there, we have already discussed. Security configuration assessment, malware detection is there. Active response is there, like stop running process. If you think that some process is got run and is troubling the system and your application is on risk, you can make the setting in the active response that in that particular place you can stop the running processes. Plus block the network connection. Sometimes it's very crucial to block, because your data is very crucial to any organization. Then cloud security monitoring, Azure, AWS, Google, all are providing. You can for monitor your Dockerized environment, containerized environment. Then we have component in one single picture. Whatever we have read till now, we have in a single picture, where we can see we have Wazoo component, and here we have endpoints where different Wazoo modules are going on, and their data flow is collecting data and sending it to agent daemon. Agent before sending data to server, it is encrypting them, then sending. The Wazoo server, which is accepting them, decrypt it only when the agent is getting enrolled and connection is getting established. Then through the RESTful API, it is connected to Wazoo dashboard, and indexer is also connected through RESTful API. 555 000 port is for server API. It is decoding it, doing the threat intelligence, vulnerability detection, and regulatory compliance. Raw data events and security events, sending data through the help of Filebeat to Indexer. Whenever dashboard talk with the whenever we use the dashboard to check the Wazoo server, it communicate with the both to the server and to the Wazoo indexer. There are some ports like 1514 TCP port to for agent connection, but before agent connection at 1515 port we have the agent enrollment. First agent is getting enrolled, then the connection service is getting through. Then we have 1516 port where the Wazoo cluster daemon will be run. Like we have implemented the Wazoo architecture and in the client server mode. In that case 1516 port will be utilized. Then we have 51 port for sys collector. It is disabled by default, and 55,000 port for the RESTful API of the Wazoo server. We have indexer 9200 port for its API. If we are making the cluster to make it highly available, then this on this port this cluster will be run. Wazoo dashboard will run only on 443. It will not run on 80 port because Wazoo itself is a security platform. It should follow all the security. We are not going to enable it on 80 port. We should enable it on by using certificate on 443 port only. So that should be taken care when you implement it. That is the Wazoo architecture. There is a server, desktop, laptop, cloud, instance, virtual machine, anything. We have agent is installed on them. Agent can send directly data to the server or through the network load balancer. Through the network load balancer, we have the master node, worker node, different worker node we have, and they are connected. They are communicating to each other in the master client architecture. Network load balancer is distributing the load equally to all the worker or master node, and master node after they processing the data, they are sending data through their Filebeat in the indexer, and data is getting saved. Either it is if there it is triggering any alert, then alert is sending to user through Slack, email, or other. Then we have dashboard whom the user is operating. In this case I am the user, and that's the basic infra which I have tried to make. In the public subnet I am not hosting my servers. I am hosting my Wazoo server only in Wazoo, only in private subnet, because we are not supposed to host it on public subnet for security reason. We for access, how to access it, the Wazoo dashboard, we will access it through ALB only. ALB or other things you can use reverse proxy, but better way is that you use the cloud service provider, all the service cloud provider AWS, Azure provide the LB facility, and it's very good. You use that. And whenever we are making the infra, we have some points which we need to take care. Like there are some CPU, memory, disk we require, and there is some planning behind that. What is the number of agent we are going to connect, and if in the future number of agent will get increased, how we will tackle that situation, and whatever what is the operating system on which we can host our server, because agent is hosted on any operating system. And 1 to 25 we need to have 4-core CPU, 8 GB RAM, and 50 GB storage. If you go to going to increase the number of agents 50 up to 100, then you require up to 200 GB storage. And if you talk about the operating system, you need Amazon Linux, Red Hat, CentOS, Ubuntu. These are the version of the Ubuntu. on these operating system you can only host your server, and for the agent, any OS you can go. Plus agent is not requirement is not that much. Agent is only requiring the RAM up to 35 MB only. Agent is very light in, and there are some important directories and files like etc Wazoo indexer. Here we have openset.yaml where we do our customize changes, customize information of our indexer hostess and certificates which we made. And then etc Filebeat, we have the template and certificates and its configuration file. Dashboard, we have etc dashboard, we have openset dashboard YAML and certificates are there. And to call the Wazoo server API through dashboard, we have the user share Wazoo dashboard data Wazoo config. In that we have wazoo.yaml where we allocate the information of our Wazoo server. Then we have var osec logs where we have the alert.json and archive.json file. Where osec etc, we have the osec.conf file. It is very important file of our osec configuration, what modules we have enabled it or what module we have disabled. Var osec active response bin, all the predefined scripts are there. You can made your own bash python script here. Plus last we have the rule file which we match while decoding the logs. Either it's creating issue, some kind of issue, we can say that it's making some we can say that it is distracting our system and firing some rules, breaking the rules. So where we have the lots of rules files are there. We can make our own rule files there to make our system more secure. And then we have the cloud security. We can monitor AWS instances on that. Plus there are multiple services which are not hosted on AWS instances like AWS S3, CloudTrail, and there are many services are there. We can connect our and system to that Wazoo system. That then second cloud provider is that Microsoft Azure, plus Google Cloud is also there. There are some customer of Wazoo which is using Wazoo like NASA, very big name is there. Most of this industry you can see here is from USA. So you can you have seen that the industry standard which is provide the regulatory compliance is of those country only. In the last we will see some alternates. One of alternative found is S-Note. S-Note is stable and good competitor, but what I am feeling ki Wazoo is getting popular day by day, and it's growing at high rate, good rate it is growing, and continues its new version are coming with good quality. They are introducing new feature, new modules day by day. Now we will see how we can do installation of Wazoo. We will do installation in this video of OpenStack stack. If we go here, we can do installation in single command. There are some hardware specifications which I already tell you. We can use the single command to install, and we will call the Wazoo assistant and it will create server for us. But to get the better understanding of tool, I will suggest you to go to step-by-step installation so that you get the idea what is going behind the picture and how your application will be run. Until you have that idea, I don't think that things will work to you to deeply understand. That you can stay download and run the installation agent. This is single command, just run and shell script will call, and it will give you ID password, go to UI and assess it. That is a simple, and you will not get whatever is going on behind the scene and how is the Wazoo working. So instead of this using this we are going for by step. First we will install indexer, and I have a server on that. First I will install Wazoo Wazoo certificate creation script, and then we will load a Wazoo config file. We are ready, we have done installation. Okay, now check. Now we are ready with the config file Wazoo certs script. Now we if you go to our config file, here there are some entries which we need to make. In the indexer node 1 we have to give our node IP. In this case we are hosting all our 3 components in single server, so we will give the IP of here of all these of our local server only 127.0.0.1. In case we have the different VMs, like one VM for indexer, one for server, one for dashboard, we will give the private IP or public IP, whatever the architecture you are infra you are thinking to build, you are planning to build. According to that you can give the IP and open the port which I have described in the API column. In this slide I have shown to you that you need to open for the, then if the connection is okay, you will find your result are working and your Wazoo server will be work. Okay, now we will save our config file, and we will go again to our official documentation of the Wazoo and run. It is telling us to edit the config file and run this bash file. Okay, it's saying that its certificate has been created. We can verify it, and if you go inside the Wazoo certificates and do ls, you see lots of key are there, which we will know why we have generated this. These are very important. Without that you can't make your Wazoo secure. So we have made the tar file of the Wazoo, and delete. We will delete the our certificate folder. Okay, go. Now we will go to next node isolation. Where we are working on Ubuntu system, so we will use the apt package manager. It is saying that some dependency are required. You should install it before installing the indexer. So no issue in that. As we are in Ubuntu user, we have to use sudo. By using sudo we will install all the dependency, and then we will go. It is saying that this particular package is used required for we can say for our indexer. Please install it. Then we need to add the key, but it is giving us error that this key is only be added by root user. So we will shift to our root user and run the same command again, and it should give us the positive response. Okay, it's give us the positive response, and now we are ready to add the repository. Now we add the repository tabs table. Okay, repository also added. We will update the repository by using the sudo apt update, and then we will install our package. Verify from here. It's also saying that do the apt-get update. Then we will install the package. If you follow the guide step by step, installation will not bother you much. Then okay, now we are ready to for installation of indexer, and we will run this command. This command will help only to download the download not download install. It will install the indexer. After the install of indexer, there are some configuration which we need to do, and this will we have to do manually. But if you want that you want to do not want to do it manually, then you can make Ansible role for that. But first time you should do on using commands only. Then for second time you go for bash script, Ansible role, etc. Our indexer is getting installed. Indexer is heavy than server and dashboard. It is saying that you have to edit this file etc Wazoo indexer opensource.yaml. Opensource.yaml, if you see, I already describe you this file and folder which are important. Here we have to change our network.host. Our network.host is 127.001, I think. And node name here is given node 1. We can continue with node 1. First we change network.host, and we can change node.name from node.1 node-1 to anything else, but being the time we can leave it. And if we are not changing it here, cluster from my initial master node, we are not going to change it from here also. Last discovery seeds host, when we have multiple instances, then we use this option, otherwise no need to use this option. Then you below you can see they are making the logs file, and you see the plugins. There are different keys which we have made using certificates. In the certificate you find that these keys are there in that not indexer key but root ca and root ca.pem. These all keys was there. If you are changing the node 1 name from starting, you change the name in all these different lines. Okay, then it is saying that we have to made the certificates are already made, but we need to deploy it as per our node. What is our node? Our node is node 1 indexer node-1. Now we follow the other guideline. It is saying that make the directory in the Wazoo indexer by name of certs in under /etc/Wazoo indexer. Then from this tar file, some keys we need to fetch and send it to certs folder. Then we have to rename some keys, and to rename those key we use mv command, chmod command. Certs folder is created, but we need to change its permission, so we are using the chmod, giving 500 permission. And inside the certs folder we have different things. We are giving it 400 permission, only read permission. Nobody can change these and nobody can execute those. Then we have chown. We are giving the ownership of this particular directories to Wazoo indexer only. Root still use this, as root is the prime minister, so it's going to use, but here we are giving the ownership in that way. Okay, we are ready with all the configuration. we can check verifying that search folder is getting created. Then we go inside this search and check uh, whatever the keys we have renamed and we have fetched is located there or not. It is there, and still now we have success. Now go to next step. Currently we are using the systemd, so we do the daemon reload, enable the Wazoo indexer and start the Wazoo indexer. Enable is referring like if your instance go down or you shut down the instances night, and in the morning if you start the machine, if you not enable it, then you again have to start or restart, whatever you like. But to remove that dependency, whenever you switch on the system, it will have the own indexer. Then next step is the cluster initialization. Either we have the single instance, but we should go but we have to initialize it, open search. Then first we check the status of the our indexer which we have installed. It is up and running. Let initialize our cluster. With initialization of cluster, our one part of central component is getting completed. Now we have left with two part only. Two part. If you want use to Wazoo assistant, you can use part by part, and if you not want to like me, you can go with the step by step. It's given command for RPM, but we are using only apt. So let's install the Wazoo manager. If you are installing the Wazoo manager on different VM, first you have to add the key plus repository, update it, then install. But we have already added the key while we are doing installation of indexer, so we don't need again those key. We just initialize and start. When the installation is done, we will enable the Wazoo server and run our and start it. It will take some time, near about less than minute or a minute. In the server installation, server is incomplete without Filebeat. So you have to make sure that you are installing Filebeat while installing the Wazoo server. Let's first start the Wazoo server, then we can check status of the Wazoo server, because if status is not up, Filebeat will not work. So apt-get -install Filebeat, and after installation, successful installation of Filebeat, we have to do some configuration in the Filebeat. First we download a predefined, there is a predefined Filebeat configuration file available. We will download it, and then we will add it to customize it. etc/filebeat/filebeat.yaml. In that section we need to change the host, but in our use case we have host of 127.0.0.1 only, so we not need to change this host. Else we have to make the entry of indexer at that part. If we have multiple hosts, we can add the entry of multiple instances, multiple indexer in that. If we have multiple master in that. Okay, then we have now we have to authenticate it Then whenever we log in the Wazoo, we should do login with some password. So we create a Filebeat key store and give a password. For being the time, we are giving it a password of admin and username of admin also. There are some alert template for the Wazoo indexer. From Filebeat is powering them. We will install and give the permissions set. And Wazoo module. Filebeat work on modules. We have the modules and built module from Filebeat. We install them and we are ready to go with it. And now we have to make certificate according to our Filebeat. For Filebeat use the certs of server, and we made cert with the name of, I think, Wazoo 1. Yes, we can see Wazoo by name of Wazoo 1 we have made that. So we will add command here, node name is equal to Wazoo 1. After that, we have to follow the same step which we have done in Indexer. We have to make a directory by name of certs and fetch some keys from tar file, rename some keys from node name to filebeat.pam or filebeat.key.pam. Then we have to change the permissions 500 of certs folder, and inside the certs folder we are giving the permission of 500, and we are giving the ownership of restricting the ownership of this folder to root only. After that, your certificates are ready. You start your Filebeat services and you check that service is running proper. If your result is appropriate, then your server part is also done and you are left behind with the only single part. Let's check the service. Filebeat test output is that, and it is giving the connection is okay with the 127.0.0.1. So here our two part of a server is done. Now we can move to third part of step-by-step installation of Wazoo dashboard. There is some dependency of dashboard you should install so that your service not get failed. Then we don't need to add repo and key. You know the reason very well. We go to package if we don't have another dependency, and then we do some configuration changes. As this configuration whenever the package got installed is standard, as per our local setup which we are making, we need to change them. It's taking some time. Wazoo Indexer, if we say monitoring, if you want to monitor logging, do logging, Wazoo is good. You try to implement on your whatever you are application you are making, and it is very accurate, and action response are very good feature in that. And we are going to install apt-get the dependency of the Wazoo Indexer, Wazoo dashboard. Currently we are left behind with the only central component, which is the Wazoo, and key we don't need. We have to upgrade our repository. We have to make sure that our repository are up to date, and then we will go to our Wazoo dashboard. Let's go the Wazoo installation, and you can check the AWS speed is very high. AWS is giving good platform to learner uh, by giving them a time period of 1 year, because currently I'm using the Azure. You can find Azure playlist on my channel. It's giving timeline of only 1 year, which I request, if you can forward my request to Azure Microsoft, please increase some time, because in 1 month is not sufficient. At least up to 3 months you can give. It's request only. uh, Please consider it. Then etc dashboard, YAML we have. Server.host is 4000 is okay, 443 is okay. OpenSearch host is on localhost 900 is okay. We are hosting it on localhost only. Same, everything is okay, no need to change anything. So it's not under my use case to change it. Next time we will see. Again, we have to make this certificate in according with the its name, but it's what was the name of Wazoo dashboard, if you anybody remind. Okay, I also not remind. So what we can do, how can we get that, where should I go? In our config file we have given the name of dashboard. Either copy or you can type, but make sure you are typing. If you are typing, then type it correctly, otherwise all the hard work which we have done earlier on, it got wasted. Then we are making again a search directory, uh, getting some key from there, then renaming it according to our use case we have given, then permissions and the ownership we are changing. Wrong terminal. Okay, now okay, all commands are successfully executed. Again, systemd we are working on enable and start our Wazoo dashboard service. If we are not hosting on same server, then you have to change the Wazoo API, Wazoo server API. In that, in the space of localhost, you have to give the IP of that particular server, either private or public, whatever. Then through ID password, you are go to access. So we are move out of our root user, so it is not appropriate to work on root user. You should work on but it was not working on our Ubuntu user, so I go to, but it is you will see in the recommendation of Wazoo official document which we are following, that you should install Wazoo with root user only. With the use of private key, we type HTTPS. We not going to use HTTP. If you type here HTTP, it will not work. You have to type HTTPS, then column double forward slash and I private IP will not work here. Public IP you require, either the load balancer URL you require, or if you have domain you can map it. You can also use domain is you can use easily. Then whenever we do the login to Wazoo, it asks for the ID password. ID password is which we made a Filebeat store credit score. In that at that time we have given some credits, username and password. Same we will use. In our case we have given the admin user and admin password. Same I am using to got sign in. when I'm here trying to do sign in, you can check it's checking the Wazoo server API, and it's got login. Currently we are don't have any agent. You can add agent by clicking on add agent. There are modules. By default, modules are there: server, security events, integrity monitoring, policy, vulnerability monitor, PSI. These are the security appliances: payment card industry, NIST, IT industry, GDPR, and HIPAA for the health industry. Health industry documents are very sophisticated. Many are used to store the data on S3, and but they should follow the guideline of their particular industry, like HIPAA, and like IT industry follow the guidelines of NIST. Vulnerabilities, they are my favorite feature, which is telling us the weakness of our system. If we install agent on any system, it will tell us the vulnerability score or vulnerability scan of those. Payment card industry, DSS was started by MasterCard, very famous company, whom credit or debit card we are using. And currently all the organization which dealing in credit debit are following it. System auditing is the other feature which I like the most, which we can scan. If you go to Wazoo, you can see that you are different of your management. You have rule, decoder, CDF groups, configuration. In the status, you have status, cluster, statistics, logs, reporting. Different stuff is there. You can explore it. They are very useful stuff you will find here. And in the agents, you will see modules. I think it's not get clicked. Again, we click on modules. Now it's running. In the default page, you see that there are some modules are showing, but some are not showing, like Office 365, Amazon, Google Cloud, GitHub. They are not showing. They are optional features made by Wazoo. They are optional. They will only shown to you when you enable them from here. After you enable them from here, they are going to shown there, but they are not get enable from backend. So you need to enable from them from OSAC file also. There are some optional GDPR, HIPAA is getting enabled. You can disable them from here on if you don't want to see them. If we move next and add agent, so how we add agent, let's we see. We will select our OS, its architecture, and in the localhost I have to give IP of my server where my central component are hosted. So assign the agent to a group. Okay, and default, whatever information you above you given, a command will be generated that you need to run on your client terminal. Like here I am running this command on this terminal. I need sudo permission to execute this command. Then my agent is also systemd. Then I run this. Okay, my system is getting created. Then as I have started the Wazoo agent, and I will check the status of the Wazoo agent. Okay, I asked Wazoo agent status is up and running. Like go again to the Wazoo agent, and here we will see that our agent is getting connected. I will use two VMs, but they are not get connected because I have not enabled the port. They require the port 15115 for enrollment plus 1514 for connection. One port was missing, so I added that and saved that. And this settings I have done. This settings I have done on server side. At client side I also change the port. Need to change the port. So same 1515 and 1514 port I need to mention. Okay, and 1515. Okay. So our networking part is not pending, which is earlier pending. Now we have done our networking later, so it may take some time to show us the agent. Currently it will show only the one agent, as I have only one EC2. I have two instances. In one instance I have hosted my a server, my center, and then on other instance I am hosting my other stuff. Other stuff means agent. So let's wait, it's running. It will call the API and then show us the screen. Okay, in our case it not it's okay. Now it's showing the total agent is 1, active agent is 1. Okay, in that way we can add agent. This screen will come, which will show the result of the scan of compliance. You will get the event security, how many authentication are passed, and number of logs till we have received an authentication. It continuously takes, as continuously we get the logs from the agent, we will got all the logs here, and we see that PAM session is closed, login session open, CS benchmark, Ubuntu, Linux, and different stuff is available here. Let's we go to we can check our OSEC configuration file first before checking anything else. Then where OSEC etc osec.conf, that if we want to have email notification, then we have to give our email credits here, like but in the email when you add your password, you can't give your password right here. You have to generate a token for third party login, then you mention it here and you are ready to go. Then alert, in which form you want to you have to change here to get the alert. Then it is XML format. All this stuff you are seeing, it is in XML format. Logging, its log format is plain. It is written over that you can use JSON format. Then we have policy monitoring, that root check disabled is not configured, that is by default is enabled, so it's working fine. You can, if you want to disable it, you can disable it, but I don't want to disable it. Hope you liking the video. You please share your feedback with me. don't forget to share. And here you can see that it is disabled, which you we have disabled no, that's mean it's getting enabled. Again we have to make disabled no, and if you enable anything you want to enable, then disabled no should be stuck. Somewhere you will find enable key and it's enabled yes. SCA vulnerability is enabled not, then we have to select yes. In the vulnerability we want to scan Ubuntu, yes. We want to scan Ubuntu enabled yes, okay. But Red Hat, I don't have Red Hat server, so no, neither Linux image, OS, window, no. So that's end here. Then we have file integrity modules. Then you can see directories which it is checking. By default its frequency is 12 hour. After 12 hour it is do scan, whatever changes is done, it will shown to you. If you want to make it in real time, that just now I am changing anything and it will shown to me, that you can describe here. For that you need to add a key. Let me add key here. Check all yes and whom data yes, okay. With that it will make a real time. Okay, now whenever we do changes, same time it will reflect. Okay, skip NFS. I hope you are understanding or same page with me. That is active response. We can set, we have different commands. We have given the commands disable account and it will call the executable file disable account whenever active response is calling that. Then we have restart Wazoo, it is calling the restart Wazoo executable file. You can make your own executable file. You have to define it like that slash in command section. So in the same format. There are multiple predefined scripts are there. Here we can add a key, timeout allowed yes. That we don't want these changes, command changes to be permanent. It will get revert after 15, 20, whatever you can want to give, you can give. But if you don't give this timeout all section, then it's problem for you. Then we have active response, then log analysis. Then log analysis we have active response. I will give you example how we can define log analysis. Active response we have saved disabled no, command is using fiber drop, which location, local agent ID 001, only agent I have, rule ID 5710. You can get the rule ID from rule section or in the event section, you can see. And timeout 300 I have written means 5 minutes. Then our active response is ready. Active response is very powerful and very useful feature. I hope you enjoy this feature. Then we have log analysis. In the log analysis we have df-p. It is written the command we have given, execute frequency 160 we have given. We can save our setting using :wq as we have opened these settings in VI editor. Then if you go below in the last section what we have, rule test we have. There is one more section I think we have, of log file. What log file we will assess? We will assess the active response .log, auth.log, sys.log, and dpackage.log, and any other files you want to add. You can mention it here and in the configuration file of your agent. Then the things will work, and you are ready to go. I hope you like this video, and please give me feedback. It's how, how can I continue to give my involvement in tutorials of different technology of DevOps. I will be very thankful to you all for your valuable feedback. And whenever you do some changes in configuration file like osa.com other file, you must restart your Wazoo services or other services if you are dealing, and then whenever the restart done, you should check the status. If the status is up and running, then it's okay. Otherwise, that the things you have created is not worth, it's not valuable. Okay, like status is up and running. So thank you, meet you soon in the next video. Thank you, bye.